Okay, I've come to the start of the hike and we're going to go up here. This place is Fawnside Farm. Going to do a right here, up the track and a little left. I can already see the path, I won't show you, but basically through the farm there's a walking track on the other side and then start the climb. So the jacket's come off, it's going to get a bit warmer now. Right, there's the road I've just come off, come round to the left and up here there's a little gate. It's got a little signpost on it as well for walkers. And then, as you can see, we're going to follow this up. Right, so as you come over that gate, you're going to do a right, almost back on yourself. There's the place we just come through, a little farm. And here is the gate, another gate. So we're going to go through that and then up and left. Up through the middle. It's actually not quite through the middle, it's slightly left. And then up. Not through here, but through here. And as you can hear by my breathing, it is quite steep. And this is the path up. As you can see, we're going to go up to where the river is, the little burn, and then actually you can't quite see it, but where these trees are, there's a little path that goes up. So I think this is going to be the steepest bit, and then it's just going to be a bit of a crawl up to the top. I'll update you soon. This whole valley is called the Green, and you can probably see why. The little burn running through the middle is St John's, and we are coming to a point where it should get a bit easier, but it's been quite steadily steep, quite gravelly underfoot, a little bit loose. Just come up to this scree section. It's a bit of a chimney, and we're going to go across the middle and then follow the path up there, okay? So up this direction. I'll put this on wide so you can see a little bit better. Just come up to this other little stream. There's a route up here which is fairly steep, and then there's a path that goes up the middle and then another one here, but I think we go up here and then across this section to the left of that gravelly bit, it's probably going to be a bit easier. Certainly not going up the middle. So I'm avoiding going up like that. Going up, a bit zigzagging there, looking up, making sure I'm going in the right direction. And I've got to this point, obviously we've got a bit of a mound. We're going to go to the right of it, around this direction. So up here, then before we get to the crag, just go up to the right. As you can see, we've got a long way to go yet. So this is the way we've came up. This is that crag. And as you come up, you see this little stone here, and you want to go left up here. Left and up, and then right at the top. I'm not going to lie, this is quite steep. Definitely for the fitter person. But the views are outstanding. Here we go. We can see Thirlmere in the distance. These are the hills I was running along a couple of days ago from Keswick, and there in the distance is Keswick, and behind there will be Derwent Water. Okay, so up here, as I say, then we're going to do a right. Right, as soon as you get over the top bit there. There's a little bit more climbing to do, but it's not as difficult. And we can see our first summit in the distance there. Okay, I think that's it. There. Anyway, a bit too far for you to see. I reckon it's about just under a kilometre. And that will be Calf Howell Pike, which is at 660 metres, I think. And that'll be the first one. So we've got a route of about 3 or 4 to do, and they're all fairly high. The highest is about 900. So obviously we have got some more climbing to do, but Wainwright's in the bag. That's the idea. It's quite nice up here, but blowy. I checked the forecast before I left, and on the peaks it's saying about 29 miles an hour. So not dangerous, but still it's going to add to a bit of wind chill. So I might put the jacket on soon. Just coming over this raise, I'm expecting it to get a bit boggy soon, but I can see a track. It's fairly straightforward, straight up the middle here. Calf Howell Pike, summit number 1, and from here going to go in that direction up to the top, so up and over. Going to follow the path over here and up. Windy, put the jacket on now. Bit of a breeze, sorry. So we're heading up here, along the back, and then up to the top, which is Great Dodd. And then from there we're going to go over that direction, down a little bit, to the next summit. So this one is uphill. I think it's the highest part. I'm not too sure. Slybarrow's actually higher, but this is 857 metres, so yeah, we're touching, I don't know, nearly 3,000 feet. Folks, I think it's going to be really windy on the top, so we're going up to Great Dodd. When we get up to the top, we're going to do a right at a right angle and head over or down to Watson's Dodd, which is a little bit of a drop, and yeah, it's quite windy. I've been taking it slow so I don't sweat too much, but only 100 metres or so to go to the top now, so yeah, quick wave when I get there, and then as I say, up and then a right angle going over that direction towards Watson's Dodd. Right, so get to the shelter. We're going to do a right and head over to that which is Watson's Dodd, and then over from there to this one, which I think is called Slybarrow, but I'll update you on the way. So yeah, so you're going to do a right, down, and then over. So we're coming off the trail slightly because we're going over here, and that is Watson's Dodd in the distance. As I say, when we get to that, literally we're going to do a left, go up here and across. Yeah, it's not too bad, and so far at least there's been no real boggy section, so as soon as I say that, it's going to get wet underfoot, but so far so good. Here's the view. Absolutely glorious day. As I say, it's a bit windy, but it's Great Dodd in the background. Watson's Dodd, summit number 3. We should get a nice view of Thermia from up here. This is where we've come from, and that's That's where we're going next. Over there, up the top to Stybarrow. And after Stybarrow, we start to descend back down again. Let's have a little look. Look, see Thermia. A huge body of water. And always looks stunning. Even in the wind. Okay. Right, so as I say, off we go. We're going to go follow this path, which looks like it's been driven by a load of quad bikes. Up here, then to the right. Then we're going to start our descent back down to the road. Right, the path's back there. We've come off to the left to actually do the summit for Stybarrow. And there it is, that's the cairn up ahead. From the cairn, we're going to be walking in that direction, up the top, which is another pass, can't remember the name. I'll update you from there. I believe after that we're going to start to drop down to the road, and again you've got a nice view of Thermia from up here, and pretty much many of the peaks in the Central Fells. Absolutely stunning view. In this direction towards Styx Pass, which is down, and then we're going to do a right. So just follow the path. Right, nearly all over. We've come over the last little, the fifth summit, which is unnamed. We're going to keep on going in this direction, down to the pass, Styx Pass, and then up the other side. Up the other side to Whiteside, which is going to be the last summit, and then down this slope here, which is going to lead us back to the road. Now Styx Pass is just behind me, and ahead of me Whiteside. The wind's dropped down a little bit here. I think I'm protected from this fell. I just had a chat with someone, says it's very breezy on the top, which is pretty much what I've been used to the whole walk. So it is a bit of a chop up here. Unfortunately, you had to come down to go up, but just makes the walk a little bit more longer, a little bit more enjoyable, especially on a day like today. So this is what we got. Once you get past the main drag, it's fairly easy up to this little point, which is before you get to Whiteside. This point's called Raise. So that'll be the sixth summit. As I said, Whiteside is going to be the last one, but these two are both very similar height. So I'll give you a view when I get to the top here. Okay, we're up on the top of Raise. R-A-I-S-E, not Ray as in me. Back there is Styx Pass, and that's the only place I've met a human on today's walk. And then further, you've got the Dodds, all in different places. So we're carrying on. We're going to go through the middle here towards this peak, which I believe is Whiteside, and then from there we're not going to do these, although you could if you were feeling really energetic. We're going to drop down from Whiteside. I'll join you from there. Lovely path across here, and it's full of cairns, so you can't miss it. And then that's what we're heading for just there. But if you look around, you get a lovely view of Helvellyn from here, which is one of the higher peaks in this area. Just over 3,000 feet. And this is another way of getting to it, obviously, over the back of Whiteside, up the back, and then you can go up that way. You can see the two edges, Swirl and Striding Edge on the other side. Lovely. But we are on our way to the last summit, and then on our way down. A little bit of a slope to finish the walk off. That's Raise, and this is Whiteside. As I said, on the way up you can see all the big peaks from here, including Helvellyn, very close, just there. But for us, we are going to take a detour back down this direction. Back down here. That should take us back to the road. And yay, we're on the top. Nice. Okay. Very nice too. But next we are going back down. Right, Whiteside is behind me now, and I'm continuing down. As I say, get to the top, do a right. Follow your nose. There's lots of cairns. Which are these? These things. You see one here, and then one in the distance. So just keep following the cairns, and that should that's going to take us in the right direction. This bump, and you can see a bit more. You've got Thermia here, and you've got a big craggy sort of lump right in front of us, and here's a cairn right in front of my shadow. We're going to go down this little section, and when we get down we're going to do a right, join the main path, go in between these two hills and go down that direction. Okay, so here we go. We just come down, we've come to this point just before we get to this mound, and there's a wee little path that goes off to the left, right. So we're going to take that, but if you miss it, doesn't matter, just go across the grass and then join the other path, go down the middle. So we're going to miss this lump, going to go down this section here. Again, there's not much of a path, but you can see a little bit of a divot. Now, if this was snow, obviously there'd be cut where people have walked up and down, but this is not a busy path, so really you've got to use your mountains as a guide. That's where you're heading. So there has been a bit of bogginess, and I feel a bit of seepage on the footwear, but right, so we're coming up to that lump. We're not going to go into the valley, we're going to go sort of caress the side of it. So we're going to go just a little bit towards the, not towards the centre, but just around the side, like that. I will update you a little bit more when I get to that little valley. We've just come around the side, like I said, and towards this craggy bit. I believe we're going to go slightly right, and then we're going to start to do the big descend into the valley. I think some of this section is going to be quite steep, so at this point you should be very careful, mind your footing, etc. And when you're going downhill, always, you know, go a little bit slower. So I'm just below the craggy bit now, and what you should see is a path. We're going to follow the path straight ahead, and then you can see in the distance here, maybe just where it's a bit paler, that's where we're heading. So I can even see the main road from here, and that's exactly where we're dropping down to. So just be careful down here. Some little handholds required in some places, but if you're pretty steady footed like moi, then you should be okay without doing that. It does feel a bit slippy, so make sure you've got decent footwear. Right, well, we've descended most of that, and we've just come to a gate which is fenced off, which means usually there's could be cattle, things like that. So if you've got a dog, now's the time you should put it on a lead. Whiteside behind me, and only descending to go. Not too far now. I would say we're up about 1,000 foot, 900 maybe. Super view of Thermia. And as you can hear, the wind has dropped considerably. So I took my jacket off a little while ago, and boggy's back. Fabulous. Right, we're going to go through the gate, follow it off to the right, and then down. So as you come down this little steep section, you're heading towards the road. You're going to zigzag. You will eventually sort of do a right. You see the main road down here. There's a little farm here, I think that's the pub. And then there's a little farm here as well. This is the one you're heading towards on the right hand side. And as you can see, the path is quite clear, and it's heading down in that direction. So that's where you're going to be aiming for. Right, so eventually we're going to come down to this little wall here. And there's a path going across and then a bridge over the river, just behind these trees. And then we can't drop down here. We've got to go along and then down, and then we can get past this little farm here back onto the road there. So again, I'll supply the map in my comments below, so if you want to download it and have a go yourself, feel free. So you go over the bridge, through the gate, and keep on going straight, don't veer off to the left or whatever, and then we're finally along this wall, still up from the road, which is down there. This is going to lead us back to nearly the start of the walk, where I started walking down the road. So keep on going in a straight direction, avoiding as much wetness as possible, he says, and just enjoying the fact that there's no more climbing. And of course the beautiful scenery. Another gate. So from here, the path is going to wind back down to the road, so we've still got a couple of 100 foot to drop down. As you can see, it starts to wind down, joins another path, and then we go off through this gate here. So through that little gate, got a lovely waterfall here. In fact, lots of waterfalls. And then come round to the left. Another one of these. Making sure the gate's shut. And we've really dropped down now, look. Just follow the path down. Folks, that's it. It's all over. We're just walking down this little trail, road, to the main road, which is where you can catch a bus back to Ambleside or down to Keswick, whichever way you prefer. I hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, there's a few Wainwrights in there, Munros, what am I talking about? And what a beautiful day we had as well, absolutely super. All right, I'll leave the map below, and the details of the length, the time and all the rest of it when I turn my watch off and what have you. All right, hope you've enjoyed it. Leave a comment, nothing nasty, it will get removed. But yeah, have a great day and go safe out there.